These are vulnerable things for me to talk about. It's out there. A lot of you have it. We don't always talk about it. Welcome to another week on the channel. It is Monday, March 23rd. Beautiful day here today in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. It's a little chilly. I think it's going to be in the 60s before the day is done. It was in the 80s yesterday. Springtime is just crazy. We might have a 30-degree day one day and in the 80s in a day or two. So spring is definitely crazy here near Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Sonia. If you are new here, I know we have a lot of new people. I mean, we are a vlog, but we've kind of been diving into some subjects as a theme each week. This week's theme is, I'm just going to go ahead and put myself out on a limb here. We're going to talk about anxieties and insecurities. It's out there. A lot of you have it. I have it. We don't always talk about it. Sometimes it's something you just kind of, push aside and try to forget that it exists, but it does. I just thought, why not? Why not just go ahead and talk about this? So I don't know if you want to list what some of your anxieties are. You may or may not feel comfortable doing that. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what mine are. Now, I listed mine. There's a lot of them. So let's just kind of go through some of those right now and see if you resonate with any of them. I don't really know that these are in any order of importance, but they are in order as to how I thought of them. First of all, tornadoes and storms. I have real anxieties about storms. Like, I'm okay if I'm in the house and it's storming. If it's tornadic, I just have this deep feeling of dread. I feel better being in the house or in a building where I feel safe. Like, we have a basement. I still get anxieties about that in the middle of the night because I'm afraid that I won't be able to get my spouse down there, George. He has some respect for tornadoes, having lived in Tennessee all of his life. It's been easier in recent years to get him to the basement. There is just that feeling of being scared it's going to happen while you're asleep. I don't like those overnight storms. I could do the whole video on tornadoes and storms, but I won't. But I know some of you that watch are also scared of storms because we text back and forth when we're having a storm. Pray for me. Here comes the storm. Yeah, we do that. And I appreciate you. You know who you are. But I also have just fears around fire, flooding, just suffocating, like drowning. I mean, I don't know. I just have these fears. So I'm always trying to make sure that everybody's okay, everybody's safe. I made a great safety director when I was in HR. It was a good role for me to play because you're supposed to have a mind's eye when you run a safety program. And boy, did I have that mind's eye. I could see things happening in my mind's eye, and so you imagine those things so you can prevent them. So I have spent a good part of my life trying to prevent these things from happening. You know, I'm just like overly worried as a mom, you know, where are the floaties, you know, and where are the kids? And I mean, just all the things. I remember not wanting to go on some of the rides in Disney World because they were just too real for me and too close to those anxieties, and I couldn't do it, and my family was mad at me, but they just had to be mad. You know, I just could not. It was a trigger for me, and I couldn't do it, and they didn't understand that because it wasn't a trigger for them. I'm also fearful of tragedies. I'm afraid of that phone call. When I know people are traveling, I'm like just praying and, you know, trying to keep my mind occupied so I don't worry. You know, I am a mom, and I do care when family's on the road, and I don't know, I just worry about things happening, you know, because when you live 63 years, you know they can happen. You're just always wanting to take precautions. You're worried about it a little bit, you know, and you're trying not to worry. I also worry about being made fun of, that I won't be liked. I worry about being stressed. I will do anything to try and keep from being too stressed or anxious. There have been times when I have worried about my spouse and my relationship. I think that a lot of us out there have issues with that, and people just don't talk about it. And I am anxious regarding relationship drama, you know, like with family. I will do anything to avoid conflict. I do not like it. It leaves me shaking. I just don't want to have any part of it. I used to be really anxious about the work life. I mean, I was anxious about, you know, am I doing my job good enough? Are they going to tell me if I mess things up, or are they just going to let me mess up and then fire me? You know, I mean, you worry about all these things and what people think about you. And when they don't let you know how you're doing, you have to guess, you know. It's like, it's this whole thing. I could do a whole another video again on just HR, but we'll leave that one alone for now. Well, I have some travel anxieties, you know, and I try to suppress these, but I get anxious when I'm on the road. And I also worry about people stealing things. I have been stolen from before. I also worry about health scares or eating old food. I have been sick from eating food, which made me very, very ill. And so I'm very, very picky about what I eat, even today. I am also kind of a little bit worried about germs, but I'm not a germaphobe or anything like that. You'll see me using my hand sanitizer, that's for sure. But those are just some of mine. I'm sure there's probably some major ones that I've forgotten. And we're not going to talk about how we're going to resolve those today. We're going to do that throughout the week. But I just thought I would get you started today and talk about, you know, what my anxieties are. And I'm really curious to hear what yours are, if you're willing to share them. Do you have any anxieties, George? George just walked in the room.
Not really.
No, he's a tough guy. He ain't got no anxieties. Not him. Not him. What's going to happen this week? I will just tell you, it is a quiet week, and I am so happy to have that. We do not have any doctor's appointments. I think Mom needed a break. I needed a break, so I know she's relieved to kind of have a week where she doesn't have to go anywhere, because it's really hard for her to get out these days. And honestly, it's kind of hard for me to get out these days. I do like getting out. We've been out a lot, and I am a little bit behind, not on really anything important. I've been able to keep up the important stuff, and we will see where the week takes us. I just had to show you this. My niece is getting married, so I've ordered some gifts for her shower, And I thought I would go ahead and order some wrapping paper. So I ordered, a thick roll. I was really closely paying attention to make sure I was going to get my money's worth. So it came in, and I was going to wrap her gifts, but it's really short. It's really, really short. Yeah, and her gifts are not small, so I just got on Amazon and ordered more. So small tip, if you order wrapping paper, make sure not to order the 17-inch roll because, it's not big enough. I don't know how I did that, but apparently I did. These are the things I have to wrap right here, and that little roll is just not going to cut it. Hey, Dexter. Is Daddy cooking again?
Makes a lot of noise in the kitchen and you don't like it, so you come back here with Mama. That's okay, you can come back in here with me anytime. Oh, here comes your sister. You feeling left out?
Okay. Oh, she's getting her squirrel.
Bring it. Come here, bring it.
She's a better retriever. Well, almost. She likes to play in the bedroom. That's where we usually play. You gonna bring it to Mama? She brings it up here. I try to get it away from her. Mama got it. Mama got it. Sometimes I really do get it away from her. And if I do, I throw it. But if she gets it, she gets to do whatever she wants. You want to play? Come on. Come on up here, boy. You don't have to come up here. But I'd love it if you did.
Oh, you got a scratch? You got an itch?
Oh, now he comes up here. Oh, bud. You love your sister? Not really? You just tolerate her? That's okay too. That's okay too. All right. Mama's going to get some more things done. I'm going to get some more things done. Yeah, I've got some things to do before the sun comes down. Once the sun goes down, I'll be sitting on the sofa. Italian pork chops with broccoli. Looks good. Looks pretty.
It does. Don't have any sides with it except the broccoli.
Probably don't need any.
I'm just happy with this because I made it up myself.
Hi guys, Tuesday here. I'm in the sunroom. It's not very bright in here. Anyway, we're rolling with it. This week we're talking about anxiety, and yesterday I gave you all some things that I was anxious about, or just listed some examples. Today I thought we would talk about how I manage some of my anxieties. And honestly, I'm getting a phone call from George. Hello?
Hello?
Well, it's always a guarantee that we'll have an interruption, and that's okay. That's life. We are vlogging amidst life, are we not? Some of the ways that I handle some of the anxieties that I have, it varies, and it's going to obviously vary according to what the anxiety is. But for example, tornadoes and weather, I really try to keep my mind busy. The best thing that I have done in my life as far as anxiety with the weather is just to know the facts. So for example, when we were in Texas and there were fire warnings, I was so afraid because we were going to be babysitting our grandsons. We are somewhat familiar with the area, but not really. It's getting into middle to west Texas type of terrain, and so these fires can just roll through with these high winds. So we had this dust / fire warning, and it scared me to death. And the best thing that I could do was to learn about all the different fire warnings, what they meant, and how we could best protect ourselves. Having the facts on anything that you're afraid of is just the best thing to do. I also use the example of flying because I used to be so afraid of flying. I just had to look at the facts. The fact that we get in a car every day. I mean, losing your life when you're in a car is so much higher than in an airplane. And you just learn the facts, and then you start to kind of change a little bit. Just start to have a little shift in the way you think. There are a lot of times where I just try to keep myself busy and keep my mind on other things. And certainly the Bible tells us to just always think about beautiful things. I mean, right now in this sunroom, I am looking at this cardinal that is looking at me from this bush right outside this window. It's so beautiful. I guess that's one reason, people send people flowers. It's just something pretty to look at and to give you cheer and joy when you are going through something less than pleasant or having a lot of negative thoughts or anxieties or feeling insecure. Yeah, being in nature and surrounding yourself with pretty things. I think that's one of the reasons why or maybe all of us, we really like to set things around us in our household that are comforting and bring us joy and happiness, so that when we have these times, we have those things surrounding us to look at and to hold us. That's just it. We have things that hold us, and it can be God or our family or just things that we like around us. Just, I even have these awesome songs that I've collected over the years on my iTunes, or now Apple Music, I guess, because I have a subscription to the Apple Music. So my iTunes are there, and then I can pretty much listen and have any song that I want. And I've just collected these songs over the years that just bring me joy. So, when I'm getting in the car and driving and turn on those songs, I'm like, I really did a good job in picking out these things. And they make me happy, these songs. Music can be very powerful. There are other kinds of anxieties that are a little bit different, and I'll just touch on this because I think it's important. And man, if you are going through something like this, it's just really hard, like insecurities in your relationship. And I want to say that right now I do not feel insecure in my relationship, but there have been times in the past when I have been insecure in relationships. And when you are going through it, it is just, nothing else matters. It rules your world, and it is just so hard. It might be that you're just flat insecure about whether the relationship is going to last, or are you doing the right things? Is it heading in the right direction? Can worry about things. You can even create insecurity in your relationship by having the insecurity in your relationship. So it's a very, very complex subject. There's feelings and emotions that you have, one of which can be jealousy, whether it's yourself or your partner. Either one is just really miserable. It is unhealthy. It's really difficult to work through. I have 2 books that I'm going to tell you about later that have helped me to work through things like this with in my relationships, whether it is a spouse, whether it is a friend or coworkers. And so hold on to that. It is always good to have a plan B. I've always called it my penguin badge. Just out of humor. Everybody needs to have a penguin badge. There was a time early on in mine and George's relationship where I just wasn't really sure how it was going to work out. We had some rocky times. There were times that I wasn't sure that I was special enough, whether I caused that insecurity or he caused that insecurity. I may never know. But at that time, I decided that I was going to go and do something for myself that was just all me. and I went and started ice skating lessons, and I got my penguin badge. It was me trying to be my individual person while he was his individual person. I did not want to be dependent on him for happiness. That happiness, I discovered, had to come from within me, and I was going to have to figure that out. And I did. I did get my penguin badge, and that was just my little side diversion, me trying to hold on to myself and do things for me, and realize that I can't live my life for another person. I can, but I can't lose me, is what I'm trying to say. Those were just some rocky times in some rocky circumstances, some that I will never want to go through again and will never go through again. But I did get my penguin badge. So I've always told my daughter that, just always keep yourself. Just always have a plan B. I have a plan B. If George were to leave me, I'm going on a Florida vacation. I'm going on a cruise. I'm going to get an RV. I don't want him to leave me, but I had to learn early on that I can't lose me, because if something happens to everything around you, you still got to have yourself. And girl, you are good enough. Don't ever question that. You are good enough. You can rise above. I know, I did. Had to go through a lot. These are vulnerable things for me to talk about, but I'm talking about it because I hope that it really helps someone, because you are enough. Sometimes we compare ourselves to others, like other women, and we're not sure that we look good enough, or that we dress good enough, or we talk good enough, or fast enough, or think on our feet fast enough. Name the insecurity. They are all over the place, and each one of us has a different one. Maybe we don't like the way our nose looks, or I don't even know. We just know that each one of us have insecurities. And when I was talking about those 2 books earlier, which I'm going to tell you about here in a few minutes, I learned from those books some tips to help during this situation. And one of them was just to realize that we are going to have insecurities, that we have been wonderfully and beautifully made just as God intended, and that we basically just need to be kind to one another. It encouraged me when I was reading both of those books to be kind to other women, because you don't know what they're going through. I mean, men too. We don't want to leave them out, but I'm just saying we go through a lot. We go through a lot in our heads. If you see a woman that's wearing a pretty necklace or scarf, or has a handbag, or has beautiful hair, tell her. She needs to hear it. Even if she is the most beautiful woman that you've seen, and you're probably sure she gets too much attention already, no. It may even be the opposite for her, because everybody else is thinking that too. So, and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But you need to tell her, you have beautiful eyes. I just want to tell you, that may be kind of weird. I don't know. But, I love your dress today. You are one of the kindest people I know. And I just wanted to tell you that. I mean, just tell people, give them compliments, because we need it as women. We don't always get them. And we feel like we're in competition with people over what? I don't know. I'm married. I don't mean it in that way, but I mean I don't want to compete, but I feel like I am competing, because I feel like sometimes my voice is not heard, or that no one cares. And that's what I mean by competing. I'm talking too much because my voice is starting to get hoarse. Okay, just a few other things. Computer games, I use them. to get my mind off of things. I've been worried about Mom a lot recently, and I've found that just playing those games, it removes whatever is currently bothering me in my head. It just takes it away. Obviously, we all dive into TV, Netflix, or, as for me, it's going to be YouTube. It just really soothes me. I have certain channels that I like to watch at night, and have certain things that I like to watch during the day. I'm really enjoying nature videos at night. People camping, cooking dinner over a campfire. I don't know, it's just simple and fun to me, elegant. That's my dream. It's just to be doing that. During the day, I kind of enjoy watching a vlog, maybe over lunch, just watching somebody live their life, what they had for lunch, I don't know. But we can't forget prayer, I'm mentioning it here toward the end. Honestly, prayer should probably be our first thing that we do, because, God hears the cries of his people. He definitely does. And when we're worried or anxious or thinking about negative things that can happen, really makes a big difference. And he will, if you ask him and you believe in him, he will take that fear away. So back to Texas, when we were experiencing the fire danger and the big dust storm with these sustained 60-mile-an-hour winds. I'm looking at the wasp in here. Another anxiety, did I not mention bugs? That dust storm that day with those sustained winds. I think sustained winds 45 mile per hour with gusts up to 60 and 70. It was very scary. It was a new experience. It was not just like one of our storms in Tennessee that rolls through. It was an all-day event. I thought we were going to blow away. I prayed and asked God to protect me and the family, of course, and to keep our minds busy. And so that's what I did. I focused on all the meals that we were going to eat. We played, we worked puzzles, they took their naps, George and I read, we talked to each other. We got through it, and, looking back, it was a really kind of a special time. The worst part of that day was that we slept with a scorpion that night. We weren't even thinking about that. Those are just the things that I wanted to talk to you about today. I just really have been doing themed vlogs lately. I can't say we're going to do that every week. I don't know that I want to do that every week. Some days I just want to just not have a subject in a vlog. Tell me what you think, if you're enjoying the themed vlogs or just getting up and vlogging. YouTube algorithms don't really like vloggers very well because we're all over the place and they don't know who to pitch us to. I do themed subjects mainly so you guys can find me. The ones that are here, you found me probably searching for a themed vlog, whether it was retirement or whether it was decluttering. That's our chat for today. We're going to go to Costco and Goodwill. We'll see you guys later on today. I'll let you know what we get at Costco. We're back from Costco. So let me show you our haul. All right, so we were completely out of coffee K-cups that weren't decaf, so we decided to go with this one. We actually enjoy these Campari tomatoes. They are really good. We've enjoyed them during the winter. Chipotle ranch, I decided to go with this one instead of the Asian salad. We have been getting this almost every time that we have been to Costco. It is amazing. And it is green celery salad, apple cider vinaigrette. It has so many healthy things in there. Quinoa,
Kale,
chickpeas, kale,
bulgur wheat, red onions,
Yeah, just so.
almonds, cranberries.
We end up getting this a lot. It's kind of when we need to snack, we've got pimento and cheese, onions, sweet onions. Did not see Vidalia. That's normally what we start buying this time of year. I went ahead and bought the organic tomato paste. I'm tired of having to remember to buy pastes. There we go. I'm excited to try this spinach and cheese ravioli. George has been diving into peanuts lately. Word is peanuts are not the best for you these days. I forget why, but anyway, he likes those. He also bought artichoke hearts. They will be all his. Tofu, this will be his go-to food. And we bought salmon, and we bought the Wagyu ground beef. This is what we buy every time. And I noticed when I laid out the stuff to make my spaghetti tonight that we only had one of these left, so we got some more. And that's really all for the Costco haul. I just need to put it up. I think all of that was $177.
Hey guys, welcome to Wednesday. It's doggy daycare day and Dexter is gone today, so that also means I need to be vacuuming. Haven't done it yet, but I need to. He is so afraid of the vacuum, so I'll be doing that today. But in our vlog this week, we're talking about anxiety and insecurity and things along those lines. So one of the things that I wanted to touch on, and I say touch on because I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm not a psychiatrist. I am not a doctor. But I'm just sharing with you guys how I've been able to handle my anxieties and insecurities and things like that. A big part of that is occasionally there will be the panic attack. And I think people experience that in different ways, and it is different for different people. I think mine are pretty mild. I can name maybe less than 10 times I've had this across my life. As a young child was the first time that I remember having some sort of panic attack-like episode. And it was when I would be in the back seat of a car, maybe on a hot summer day, and it was just hot. There wasn't a lot of ventilation, and I just felt like I couldn't breathe good. Maybe there was some carbon monoxide stuff going on. I have no idea. I was a little kid. I was probably 4 or 5. And I just remember telling my mom, I feel like I can't breathe. You know, and she looked back and saw that, well, I looked okay, I guess. And maybe somebody handed me a paper bag, some kind of bag that was in the back seat and said, breathe in that. I kind of felt like nobody really took me seriously because they could tell I was okay. I wasn't choking or anything like that. I think it was the confined space and it just being hot, and I think I really couldn't breathe, and I think it started to become a problem, or I let it become a problem. Like I said, it was 4 or 5. I don't really remember all the details. And I didn't really have that kind of a thing to happen to me again until probably I was a young adult, really. There would just be times when mainly I just felt like I was short of breath. I know that one time it happened to me when I was at work, and I think I had really high blood pressure. I was very stressed. I was allowing the stress to get to me. And I probably just quit breathing. You know, I just wasn't breathing. I was holding my breath because I wasn't sure how I was going to get all these things done that was before me. And they ended up calling an ambulance because I started to go numb. And when it hit my face is when I'm like, I guess we're going to have to call somebody. I was better by the time paramedics arrived. I can't even believe I'm telling this. I remember them taking me out on the gurney, and the guy said, if you're not on blood pressure meds, you're gonna be now. Yeah, and then there were some additional, panic attacks of a small nature when I started taking the blood pressure medicines because they made me feel weird. And a couple of them were kind of dangerous for me, where I had fluids to build up on opposite ends of my body, and it was just a reaction to the medication that sent me in a panic attack. That was medicine induced on that one. But most of the time when it happens to me, I'm in the car. And if I'm on the inside wall and we're in traffic and it stops and I feel like I can't move, I kind of feel claustrophobic. It's like I don't want to be in traffic stuck. I want to at least be able to get out of traffic. I don't know why that does that to me. I'm not usually that way in confined spaces. I'm not usually claustrophobic, but I am in that situation. And I was once in the St. Louis Arch. I kind of had a little bitty moment there. My daughter, of all things, could tell that I was going into this little moment of panic, and she started to cry. I think she was about 7. But yeah, I mean, just some of the panic attacks situations have been kind of interesting, and most of them have been in the car. It starts out with a feeling like, I wonder, am I okay? I don't really get dizzy. It's more of a breathing thing for me. What I do when I'm in the car is I just, blow as cold air as I can stand and as much air as I can stand. And it pretty much just instantly calms me down. I've heard people say, drinking cold water, if you have it, will also help with that. Obviously, breathing will help with that. Taking some deep breaths. At work, I've had some moments like I have had in the car. Not as many, though, but when it did happen at work, it was usually when I was starting to feel overwhelmed. And so I would stop and say to myself, are you feeling overwhelmed right now? That's why you're doing this. You're not about to have a heart attack or anything like that. But I'm just telling you guys how I have handled this. I'm kind of vulnerable, opening up to you guys. I'm happy to say I haven't had any panic attacks lately, especially since I've been retired. After about age 45 on to now, I really haven't had a lot of them because I learned how to keep it controlled for me. This is what worked for me. Some people feel they have to be on meds. I never did want to do that. These are strange things. Okay, this is different. At work, I always had like Vicks Saf. This one is mentholatum nighttime with lavender. But I would take some of this and put it on my neck, in the back. If I were home, I would put it under my nose, but I didn't want to have a greasy nose, so I would just kind of put it in the back, or I would put it on my wrist where I could smell it. And just smelling this calmed me. I don't know what it is about it. If I'm ever feeling like I can't breathe at night, whether I'm stopped up or, just not feeling right or something, or just can't sleep, I'll use this Vapo stick at night. Because I know some of you probably have little bitty panic attacks every now and then at night. I just rub some of this on my chest, and that helps. Also, keeping this in my purse has been good. It's one of those vaporizer inhaler things, over the counter. You just sniff it, and it just has helped me. I know it's weird. I'm just sharing what I do. I'm not saying you all definitely should do this. Also, there's been times at night when I've had a cold or just felt like I wasn't breathing good or something for whatever reason. And I did go ahead and buy one of these little oxygen things. I forget exactly what they're called, but you can take your oxygen reading. And I just keep this in my bed nightstand along with these other things in case I feel I need it. But I really enjoy having this because you can do a little check on yourself. I ordered one for Mom. I just thought while we were on anxiety and insecurity, I would just kind of throw that in there because sometimes you don't know if you're having a real anxiety attack or if it's a real, heart or breathing thing that's going on. Share with me what you've done if you've had a little anxiety, issues. I just chose not to do medication because, it can have other side effects, and this worked for me. It was just a mind game with me, and it's just a matter of calming myself down. Kind of weird. Oh, and also at night, it kind of goes along with anxiety. I mean, if you're anxious and you can't sleep, I do actually do this melatonin spray along with this, sometimes this. If I'm a little worried, a little anxious, not feeling so good, thinking I might not sleep, I got this on Amazon. It's called On It Instant Melatonin Quick Easy Spray. Knock yourself out, it says. Get in your circadian rhythm and get a restful sleep. So it's this right here. I know that a lot of melatonin is not good for you. I did some research on it. For me, you can do your own research, and a little bit is okay, is what I found. I've chosen to do it occasionally, and I think it helps me get to sleep, and I think it helps me sleep longer through the night. Okay, guys, we'll see what else we get into today. I need to grab some lunch. I have not done my Devo yet, and I normally do that earlier in the day. I've been trying to knock out my video today, and Mom had a few bills I need to pay, and obviously doing this vlog today. I've done laundry, and so it's been kind of busy. Let's go do something else. Stir fry tonight.
Chicken and celery.
Over rice. And he used the rice cooker. We've been really enjoying that.
I'm just impressed by the rice cooker.
Hey guys, welcome to Friday. I did not vlog anything yesterday. I was just having one of those days where I was really focused on my to-do list and just in a quiet zone, and I just couldn't fit everything in, so vlogging went out the window. It's okay. It's okay. It happens sometimes. But I thought we would do a little mask talk today. I like our mask talks. I've missed them. And I'm sure my epidermis here has missed it too. I thought while I waited for this mask to do its magic, hopefully, we could talk a little bit about Mom. Several of you have been asking about her in the comments, and I appreciate that, and I know she would appreciate that too. And I do actually request your prayers because in some of the recent doctor's visits that we've had with the testing and the doctor's follow-up, it has been determined that her replacement valve for her heart valve is no longer effective, and she actually needs another one. And there is a procedure called the TEVOR procedure, I believe, TEVOR, if I am correct. And I've not done a lot of research on this yet because it's a new thing, but she's going to have a whole day in mid-April where she will be going through a couple of tests and being evaluated to see if she is a candidate for this type of heart valve replacement procedure. we just, we're praying because, without this, she would just be in a constant state of heart failure. So many prayers are coveted on her behalf, and we both appreciate it. Just keep us in mind. That's all I want to say. I'm always worried about her. She's not feeling well these days. Thanks for the mask talk. I needed it. I don't know about you guys. I needed it.
A few minutes later.
All right. Fixed up here a little better than I was before. But I had promised you guys that I would tell you about 2 books that really helped me during a time when I had a lot of anxiety. So the first one was Candace Cameron Bure, Kind is the New Classy. Now, she has written several books. I think I've read 2 of them. Really enjoyed both of them. But the one that resonated with me the most during this period of time that I really needed it is Kind is the New Classy. She really talked about having grace, keeping your cool. I did it as an audio book, I'm pretty sure, but I've taken notes because it has been years since I read this book, but I just remember it being such a good book for me, and I couldn't really remember why, but I just soaked it in at the time. So when I went back and looked at her book again, I made some notes of things that resonated with me, and it was the fact that you could respond with grace and that you can stay centered and you don't let people steal away your values. You remain true to yourself. And I just remember this particular book helping me socially with others in these anxious moments that I was having, mainly probably in the workplace more than anything. I don't know, it made me look at situations with more grace and integrity. And that's just really all that I can say about that. I think you can check into the book and see if it might be something that you might enjoy. Okay, the next book is Beth Moore, So Long, Insecurity. She just talked about things that other women don't even talk about. And that's what was really helpful for me. I mean, she laid it out there. I also made some notes on this one because, again, it has been a while. I just remember feeling so good after I read that book, and it really changed things around for me. It's kind of like when I started realizing that I was enough and that I had all the tools within me to handle life, no matter what it was, as long as I had God on my side, period. It just kind of walked you through handling trauma, drama, things you've been through, handling rejection, whether it be, from relationships or companies or, like in your career. It really helped with how you viewed your body image and some of the negative things that you felt about yourself. And it helped you kind of let go of that need for approval. We do not need the approval from any other person on this earth. Sure, it's helpful. Sure, it's great to get it. Makes you feel good. And it's nice when people appreciate you. But God made you good enough. You're good enough for this life. God made you. And yes, we do need encouragement, but you're enough. None of these books are sponsored, but I will link them down below in my Amazon, in my reading material, in my Amazon store, and you can check them out if you would like. So this actually concludes our anxiety, insecurity part of the vlog. So I hope I've given you some tools that you can work with. I know that I have talked about having a plan B, thinking about all the good thoughts. I've also talked about knowing the facts, so anytime you're anxious, Try to think about good things and know the facts. Dig in, do some research. I'm going to divert my mind off of this. I have looked up what I needed to know, and I have a plan in place if it happens. And I've also prayed about it, and the Lord's going to protect me. All of those things can help you in times of anxiety and when you're feeling insecure. I don't know. This topic is just really, it just speaks to me because I have been anxious so much in my life. It's just really hilarious that I am doing a talk on it because I'm one of the most anxious people on earth, and I know what typically works for me. And I can tell you right now, what doesn't work for me is when other people are annoyed because I'm anxious. That only makes me mad and sparks me further into retreat into a completely separate world. And there have been plenty of people that really discouraged me with my anxiousness instead of helping me with it. You know what I mean? So I hope for you that you do have a good support system in whatever trials that you're going through. I think that's really important. I really think that's all the points that I have to offer. I hope that you've had some takeaways. I know this has been more of a chatty vlog. We're just going to go ahead and close out the vlog today. And I hope that you'll give me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought. If you don't mind sharing your anxieties, that would be great because we kind of learn from each other. Throw some more tips in there. There's plenty of tips that I didn't talk about. I just shared the ones that worked for me. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. So I know we have a lot of new people in the group and we welcome you here. And we will see you next week.